Tonight, I am bringing you a level of classified intelligence that will fundamentally alter the way you view the safety of this nation and the integrity of the people running it. My name is Kash Patel. I have served as the Chief of Staff for the Department of Defense. I've been the Deputy Assistant to the President, and I have run the most sensitive intelligence operations in the history of the United States. I have seen the documents they are trying to hide from you. I have sat in the skiffs where these betrayals were planned, and tonight, the mainstream media's wall of silence is being torn down. What we are witnessing right now is the intentional, strategic dismantling of the American military presence on the global stage. It is not an accident. It is not bad luck. It is a coordinated retreat designed by globalist bureaucrats in Washington who have decided that your children's lives are worth less than their green energy agendas and their private equity portfolios. We are talking about the secret abandonment of 13 strategic military bases across the Middle East and the Indo-Pacific, leaving billions of dollars in advanced weaponry for our enemies to seize, and leaving our allies to face the wolves alone. And every single claim of strategic repositioning coming out of the Pentagon is a bold-faced, calculated lie. Before I expose the specific locations and the names of the generals who signed off on this surrender, I need you to do something right now. The deep state and the big tech censors are working 24/7 to make sure this video never sees the light of day. They are terrified of a public that knows the truth. They want you focused on their manufactured social crises while they sell out your national security. If you want to support independent, raw intelligence reporting, the kind they can't control, you must hit that subscribe button right now. Don't wait. Like this video, share it with every patriot you know, and support us through the link below. We are the only voice left that isn't on the government's payroll. Now let's look at the raw data they don't want you to see. My sources inside the National Security Council have confirmed the existence of a directive titled Regional Asset Liquidation. This is the blueprint for a total American withdrawal from the most critical energy corridors on the planet. For the last 3 weeks, under the cover of night, our most advanced surveillance drones, our Reaper platforms, and our electronic warfare suites are being remotely sabotaged or simply left behind on the tarmac. I've seen the verified footage. 13 U.S. military bases across the Persian Gulf have already been partially or fully abandoned. We are talking about facilities that were built with hundreds of billions of your tax dollars, now being handed over to Iranian-backed militias and foreign adversaries without a single shot being fired. Why would they do this? The president stood before the cameras and claimed we are consolidating our strength. That is a lie so transparent it's insulting. You don't consolidate strength by leaving your most advanced AWACS surveillance planes in pieces in Saudi Arabia. You don't consolidate strength by allowing the Houthis to launch missile barrages against our desert outposts with zero retaliation. No, the real goal is much darker. This administration is engineering a global energy blackout. They want to choke off the Strait of Hormuz. They want the price of oil to hit $250 a barrel, and they want to use that chaos to force you into their Great Reset economic model. I've seen the classified logistics reports. The administration is currently planning to send our elite Tier 1 operators, Special Forces, and Navy SEALs into what they call radioactive hot zones. Their mission is to secure nearly 1,000 pounds of weapons-grade uranium from sites that are already under enemy control. This is a suicide mission. They are asking our men to fly into a web of S-400 missile batteries and drone swarms that have been upgraded with foreign technology our current systems can't even jam. They are sending them into a radioactive meat grinder just so the politicians can claim they are securing the world while they quietly hand the keys of the global economy to our rivals. Think about the sheer strategic lunacy of this. To extract this volume of material, which is stored in 50 specialized cylinders the size of scuba tanks, you need heavy radiation shielding, a fleet of heavy-lift aircraft, and ground forces that can hold territory for weeks. But we are abandoning our bases. We are pulling back our air cover. Our commanders on the ground are being told to stand down while their positions are being bracketed by enemy artillery. It is a betrayal of every man and woman who ever swore an oath to the Constitution. While our military is being hollowed out, the economic shockwave is already hitting the American heartland. Look at the price of fuel. Look at your electricity bills. Brent crude is screaming past 115, and the analysts I talk to, the ones who haven't been silenced by the Fed, are saying $200 is the floor. Your national debt crossed $39 trillion 2 weeks ago. We are on a runaway train toward $40 trillion, and the opening phase of this war has already incinerated hundreds of billions of dollars. American families are being squeezed out of their homes, out of their cars, and out of their grocery stores, while the president sits on a golf course. I saw the footage of the president this weekend. He was laughing, enjoying the sun, while the geopolitical order was collapsing around him. Taxpayers have spent $100 million on his golf trips alone this term. When he finally appeared, he was showing off photos of a new golden ballroom he's installing, while our sailors in the Gulf are being targeted by Iranian-made hypersonic missiles. The narcissism is pathological. He claimed today that the Iranian military has no real defense left. That is a verifiable lie. Iran has not only defended their airspace, they have achieved total dominance over the shipping lanes. The tankers the president claimed were under U.S. escort were actually Pakistani vessels being escorted by the Iranian Navy. We have lost deterrence, and our enemies know it. The war has spread like a wildfire. We've seen strikes on Kuwaiti desalination plants, an attack on the basic life support of a sovereign nation. Bahrain has been hit. Abu Dhabi and Dubai are under constant threat. In Iraq, the situation is even more dire. Shia militias, operating with the open blessing of the Iraqi government, are systematically dismantling our remaining infrastructure. They are using FPV kamikaze drones to destroy our C-130 transport aircraft right on the tarmac. Irreplaceable military hardware gone in seconds because our air defenses are being remotely deactivated or overwhelmed by numbers we were told didn't exist. The Iranian spokesperson was on state television today mocking the United States. He wasn't talking about diplomacy. He was talking about Phase 3. They are now targeting residential areas where U.S. and Israeli commanders are located. They are striking commercial hotels where our personnel shelter. Our universities in Qatar have already shut down and evacuated. The world is watching the American era end in a cloud of smoke and betrayal, and the people in Washington are the ones who lit the fuse. Even the media circles that have spent years defending this administration are starting to crack. When you have people like Ann Coulter and other legacy voices calling out the cognitive dissonance required to believe this is a victory, you know the ship is sinking. This isn't a strategic withdrawal. It's a controlled demolition of the United States of America. The administration is projecting confidence they don't have, spending money the country doesn't have, and sending soldiers into a conflict they have no clear plan to end. The Iranians have laid out their terms for a peace deal, and it is a total surrender document. They want full financial reparations for every building destroyed. They want binding security guarantees that we will never strike their soil again. On top of that, they want a formal public apology from the highest levels of our government and the complete withdrawal of every single U.S. military base from the Middle East. And while the politicians in D.C. are considering these terms in secret, the Iranians have stated they will never give up their nuclear program. Why would they? This war has proven to them that the only way to stop the globalist bullies is to have a nuclear deterrent. We have guaranteed that Iran will become a nuclear power because of our own incompetence. The next 72 hours are going to be the most critical in the history of our republic. If this asset liquidation directive is fully executed, the United States will be permanently locked out of the global energy market. You will see a blackout that doesn't just hit your lights, it will hit your bank account. The dollar is already being abandoned by our G7 allies who are privately negotiating with Eastern powers just to keep their own economies afloat. We are being isolated by design. This is what happens when you weaponize the Department of Justice against your political opponents at home. When you spend all your time hunting down patriots who believe in the Constitution, you lose sight of the real threats at the gate. When you purge the military of its most lethal combat commanders and replace them with bureaucratic yes-men who care more about their ESG scores than their combat readiness, you invite aggression. And our enemies have accepted that invitation. I am telling you this because I am one of the few people who can still get this information past the filters. I have the documents, I have the sources inside the Pentagon who are fed up with the treason they are witnessing. They are handing over the evidence because they know that if the American people don't stand up now, there won't be a country left to save. We are going to continue to name the names of the bureaucrats who are getting rich off these defense contracts while our soldiers are left behind. We are going to expose the financial ties between the globalist think tanks and the energy companies that are profiting from this blackout. But I cannot do this alone. The deep state has billions of dollars and the entire legacy media apparatus on their side. They are using your own tax money to fund the propaganda that is designed to keep you asleep. This channel is your only source for unfiltered, raw intelligence. You need to be informed, you need to be prepared, and you need to be subscribed. Hit that notification bell right now so you don't miss the next update. Share this video with every veteran, every taxpayer, and every patriot in your life. The storm is not coming. The storm is here. The bases are being abandoned. The energy grid is being compromised, and the dollar is on life support. The people in charge are terrified that you are finally waking up to their game. They want you focused on the latest social media scandal or the latest celebrity gossip, but the real story is the collapse of the American shield. Stay vigilant, stay focused, and keep your eyes on the data. This is Kash Patel, and I will be back as soon as the next set of classified cables hits my desk. Subscribe now, and let's hold these people accountable before the lights go out for good. The globalists think they've won. They think the American people are too distracted and too divided to notice the heist. But they are wrong. We see the gold moving. We see the ships burning. We see the planes being abandoned. And we are not going to let them get away with it. We are the resistance, and the truth is our greatest weapon. Every time you share this video, you are striking a blow against the deep state's wall of lies. Every time you subscribe, you are joining a network of patriots who refuse to let this country be sold to the highest bidder. We are entering a period of unprecedented chaos, but in chaos, there is also opportunity. The opportunity to rebuild this country on a foundation of truth and constitutional integrity. But first, we have to survive the collapse they've engineered. Keep your family safe, keep your assets secure, and stay tuned to this channel for the only intelligence you can trust. The next update could change everything. The clock is ticking, and the decisions being made in the next 48 hours in the halls of the Pentagon will determine if we remain a free people. Stay with us. We are just getting started. The intelligence I am receiving from the Indo-Pacific is just as dire as the Middle East. They are preparing a managed retreat from our key positions there as well. It's a global fire sale of American power, but we aren't going to let them do it in the shadows. We are bringing the light. Subscribe now and join the fight. I'm Kash Patel, and I'll see you on the front lines.